Hello, my name is Ariel Schoenhuth. This is my current Trends in Education Pecha Kucha. I chose this background because we have many plates, spices, or colors, and when cooking a dish or painting a picture, spice, you want to pull from a lot of different sources to make something delicious or something beautiful. All right, this is a bit about my background. I've gone to, I think, about 7 different schools in my life, 8. And some classes just felt empty, like going through the motions. I couldn't tell you a really good reason to be in there. I also had some amazing teachers in classes where we felt empowered and safe, and we worked with each other and learned from each other. And there was color and creativity and creation going on in classrooms. I also spent 6 years teaching in South Korea, and that kind of awakened me to the idea that I might want to be an educator myself. That wasn't the original direction I was going in, but my education is what made that path possible. So when I came back to the United States, I was a computer pro, and I learned a lot about teaching and technology and using technology to empower kids and personalize learning, and just make things a little more real and present using the internet. What I want for my students is I want them to have a lot of the skills, both academic and emotional, to be able to succeed in life. I want them to leave me and be able to go through any door or if they're a contrarian window that they want to in life, and I want them to have the skills to feel like they have choices. I think if people have choices, oftentimes they will choose not only the best choice for themselves, but oftentimes the best choice for other people. I also want my kids to feel connected and empowered, and I want them to be able to learn from each other. Because am I the best person to teach absolutely everything in that classroom? No. And for me to think that would be pretty egotistical. So I want students to be lifelong learners, and I want them to be intrinsically motivated to learn, and I want them to have fun doing it. I want them to be happy old people who still learn new things and have the skills they need to be sociable with their friends. And that's what I want for myself. Going along with that, I want my students to be able to feel safe, and that means being able to connect with each other and empower each other to be better, to do better, um, and hopefully to get out of their comfort zone and go someplace new. I'd also like students to not just learn skills, but processes and thinking. I want my students to embrace failure, um, and just get off the bench and start playing. I also think it is important that students embrace diversity. I think we as humans have a tendency to want to be nice to people who are like us, and it's important to know that it's important to do what's right for everyone, which plays into democracy. I want my students to be not just community or nationally minded, but they're a citizen of the world, and it's important that they take care of everyone and that everyone in turn kind of hopefully takes care of them. And I hope that my students are kind of driven not from selfish means, but core values that will help them to succeed. And the best way to instill those core values is to role model it and to create an environment that helps do that. And this is how I feel when I feel like I get too big picture-y. I feel like it's important to look at the big picture and have big picture goals and to inspire kids to do big things. But the most important value is just to be excellent to each other. And I think when we get too high minded and big pictured, kids become more inconvenient than they are kids. And I think just being good to each other is the most important. Which brings me to my next point that um, I do want students to make really good choices and empower themselves, but I also understand that in order for them to get there, I need to create an environment that meets their psychological safety and relational needs. Um, I want students who are inspired to create and just get out there and do things and learn and love learning and to feel empowered to do that. And I think this class has given me some ways to look at that. So finally, I think if you create the right environment, I think a lot of people want to be the best version of themselves. And so providing a pathway and just an environment where they can do that is the most important thing. So I feel like I've pulled from a lot of different sources um, and curriculum design while making this class. But the most important thing I think it's just taught me is try not to be bad. Try to keep students in mind first and make choices that makes their life better. The end. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. My name is shoot, wrong slide. My what is and they son of a potato. Why are you doing this? No. No. To make sure that students have those processes and they all right, let's try this again.